Seamus Ennis was an Irish musician, singer, and Irish music collector. Born in 1990, Seamus hails from Jamestown in Finglas, County Dublin. Seamus' grá for Irish culture came from his family, especially his father, who encouraged him to speak in Irish and also taught him how to play the uilleann pipes. Seamus is most noted for his uilleann pipe playing and had a huge role in the revival of the instrument during the 20th century. Seamus co-founded na Príomhbhrí Uilleann, a non-profit organisation dedicated to the promotion of the uilleann pipes and its music. This organisation is still thriving to this day. He is recognised for having preserved almost 2,000 Irish songs and dance tunes as part of the work he did with the Irish Folklore Commission.
During his first year as a collector for the Irish Folklore Commission, Seamus Ennis transcribed a great deal of song material in the Irish and English language, which the Commission had stored on Edaphone cylinders. Ennis was not a native Irish speaker but knew the language well and had a gift for acquiring the various dialects, which made the transcribing relatively easy for him. Ennis also had a rare auditory phenomenon called perfect pitch. Kevin McCann has said of Ennis, Seamus was gifted with perfect pitch and could instantly recognise the key in which a song was being sung or a tune was being played. Because of his musicality, along with his linguistic skills and youth, the Commission would send Ennis to any Gaeltacht in Ireland and also abroad. Ennis mainly collected in County Galway, but also in counties Donegal and Mayo, West Munster and elsewhere.
Ennis first started working for the Commission in 1943. He only used pen and paper to collect tunes and songs. However, in June 1944, he resorted to using the Edaphone, which sped up the process of collecting materials.
It was ideal for fieldwork because it worked on a spring mechanism and required no power source.
The collectors were also supplied from head office with standard notebooks, as well as smaller notebooks to record diary entries and other kinds of data. In addition, they were supplied with pen and ink.
Collectors were also supplied with 6-inch Ordnance Survey maps to help them chart the progress of their work.
In 1937, Sean O'Sullivan produced his Lábhlóir Béalosa. This was followed in 1942 by a handbook of Irish folklore of 699 pages by the same author. The idea was that collectors should work through it chapter by chapter.
Interestingly, the morning was not a good time to collect, as many old people in particular might not get up until midday or so. Moreover, for the collector to go too early to a house would disturb the household. Also, Sunday evenings was a good evening for collecting, as were wet days or holidays if an informant was old.
In 1946, Seamus Ennis successfully applied for a job in Radio Éireann as an outside broadcast officer. Commencing this job in August 1947, it wasn't long before Seamus proved himself to be a skilled presenter. On a renowned visit to Clare in 1949, he recorded the playing of legendary musicians Willie Clancy, Bobby Casey, Sean Reid and Martin Talley. In 1951, the tables were turned, as Seamus became the subject of someone else's collection. Alex Loxman and Jean Ritchie arrived from America to record Irish songs and tunes. There is a brilliant photograph from 1952 showing Jean huddled over the tape recorder while Seamus plays uilleann pipes.
This same year, Seamus moved to London to work with the BBC on a scheme aimed at recording extensively the surviving folk culture of England, Scotland and Wales. With an uncanny ability to converse in the regional Gaelic dialects with people in Connemara, Donegal, Kerry and even Scotland, he travelled the length and breadth of Ireland and Britain, collecting material, and was one of the presenters of the radio programme As I Roved Out. Seamus eventually returned to Ireland after a lifetime of collecting folk music worldwide. Unfortunately, Ennis lost his battle to cancer in 1981 at the age of 62. There is a music centre built in Seamus's honour in his hometown of Finglas, County Dublin, and the centre aims to develop and maintain arts and culture activities.
During his lifetime, Seamus Ennis' work in collecting songs, tunes and folklore has resulted in a wealth of music that would otherwise have been lost forever. His work can and should never be underestimated.
So firstly we met up and we decided that we would research Seamus Ennis, that I would research his work in the Irish Folklore Commission specifically, so his equipment that he used, his methodologies and his strategies, and also his contribution to the collection of Irish music.
And then I kind of looked into Seamus Ennis' personal life, so his life before the Irish Folklore Commission and his life afterwards, and how he contributed to Irish music as in a whole in general.
So then we met up again in the Irish World Academy in the recording studio, and we brought both of our scripts together, or the research we had done, and kind of made one long script to go over the top of our documentary kind of biography thing.
Yeah, we're really lucky because we're students at the Irish World Academy, so we had all the equipment to record, and then over the next week we kind of edited it, gathered all the YouTube clips and photographs, and then we just kind of edited and added bibliography and stuff. So, yeah.
And then one challenge that we faced was definitely our script was, I think initially about 10 minutes long in length. So when I was editing, I really had to omit so much information to keep it to the 4 to 5 minute long, suggested timeline or whatever.
And then another challenge we definitely both faced is that we're both fourth year students who are really busy and have really different timetables. So to find a time that both suited us and meet up was...
Yeah, it was difficult. And then lastly, what I learned from this exercise, I learned a lot about Seamus Ennis, who previously I didn't know a whole lot about. I listened to a lot of piping music, just with the YouTube clips and CDs and all that, and then also was really relevant this week because the famous and well-known piper Liam O'Flynn passed away. So piping was really in the media in Ireland, and I learned from my research that Seamus Ennis had actually given his pipes to Liam O'Flynn, and that Ennis was one of Liam O'Flynn's huge inspirations growing up. So it was just kind of really relevant and really interesting that I was learning about all this for the first time.
Yeah, like Kate said, the same. Yeah, it was really interesting and relevant. We both really enjoyed doing this video. So yeah,
thank you. Okay. We first met up and we decided that we would... Oh no, I can't do this. What are we doing?